Already. So this is a set of slides from last summer. In fact, shy of like about a month some and days, I created these slides. This is when I was taking a course titled "The Fundamentals of Entrepreneurship" through Draper U, and that's when I started taking more tangible steps in order to be able to take to make the vision, like just taking the primary set of steps. And I forgot about this slide actually, to be honest, because we just started using other systems. Like we used Asana first and then transitioned to ClickUp. But I just wanted to review this in terms of accountability. And the next steps that I said, and that was just me at that time, but I said we will do the following. We will develop the mathematical models uh, with help from mathematicians with a background in climate modeling. We are going to develop fluid dynamic simulations for the sequestration device. We're going to anticipate how the price to send a pound of weight into orbit will plummet, and we're going to time the release of our self-replicating sequestration machine, as well engage rocket companies who will deliver our payload. So let's review what has happened in terms of these next steps since last year. So the first thing is the actual mathematical model. So we do have a white paper, but in terms of 100% honesty, we ourselves do not understand fully what, because we outsource this, let's be honest. And we're working with the author here, and we will continue to um, we'll continue working on this. This is a living document, uh, and we did what we could based on the resources that we had, and also in terms of radical honesty, we specifically designed this so that this works at 60% efficiency. So I think the other models for the other piece of the business model has to be figured out before we can say conclusively that this works 100%. And it's more of a timing thing. Once it works, and once we have the necessary structure from a legal perspective, even if it's a set of provisional patents, then we can then we can then we can go from there. I don't know if that's a good strategy, so I'm open to suggestions. Okay, so that's the first thing. So we do have traction here. At least we have version 1.0 for this, and many such versions are going to be required. 1.1 to going all the way to version 5, 6, 7, and beyond. The next thing we said we're going to do is develop fluid dynamic simulations for the sequestering device. We did not do this, and this is why we didn't do this. Well, first of all, I can say we now because it's me and Rusit. There's two of us now. The team has changed. Initially started with a original set of contributors who are not with the company as of this point. So it's me and Rusit right now. And that dynamic seems to be working, knock on wood. I'm really grateful for Rusit to be on this team. I truly am. Rusit is a prolific, phenomenal engineer, and I'm really glad to be working with him. Thank you, man, for all your good work. Please keep it up. Okay, so that being said, we didn't make the simulations just yet. We did some simulations, but we didn't focus on the actual sequestration device. What we did do instead, that was the actual task for, oh, where's my, no, sorry, it's this one. What we did do instead was this is not, this document is public, but the time we spent working on this activity here is not public for many reasons. So this stands for rocket propulsion, and that stands for autonomous manufacturing unit. And that's really our long-term vision, is to see not just this is not our vision. This is not our image. This is a Creative Commons image available on the web. But our vision is to see these settlements in orbit, uh, in Venus's orbit, in Jupiter's orbit, maybe Earth's orbit. We'll see how the structure for governance on Earth evolves. But we definitely want to see these facilities, settlements for in different parts of the solar system, for mining, for agriculture, for scientific outposts. And we envision all these settlements are going to be, at least for the foreseeable future, for the next couple of decades, at least a decade and a half, or 2 decades, they're going to be primarily autonomous or semi-autonomous. And that these, until the safety and security aspect is thoroughly vetted, that humans are not going to be in these settlements for longer duration, even if artificial gravity can be powered, which we will probably need for the purpose of agriculture. So coming back to what we did, we spent a fair bit of time learning about rockets, and we made some components, worked on some of the schematics. We started doing some simulation for rockets, 2D simulations, and then 3D simulations. So our simulation right now, this is an actual screenshot from a simulation that we ran. This is the actual height that we can get in our simulations. And we did this in a span of a couple of months, amongst the other things we're doing. So we have a sister company called Launch Today. There's other activities, obviously, on the business side of things. So we're trying to streamline and organize how all of these things are going to work together. So yeah, Rusit is the core lead on this. My knowledge on this is almost non-existent. So I let him run with this almost autonomously. We'd sync up on a regular basis, and this is the work. So we pretty much started from knowing not much to making simulations that can get us that altitude that was up on the screen. It's a little shy of 2,500 meters. That's 2493 meters to be precise. Yeah, it's right here. So our simulations work. They work for a finite altitude, but they do work. Obviously, we can't do fancy things like landing the rocket back and make it reusable. We're just taking the baby steps here. I don't think long term we're actually going to go in the business of making rockets, but if we can't, I think the probability is pretty high that we're going to get somebody to get our machines and constructs in two particular destinations across the solar system, as opposed to us taking on the job of making our own rockets. But we did what we said we were going to do, and I think we did a pretty good job. Rusit did a phenomenal job. We started from scratch. Like I said, we started taking some. Rusit started taking some university level courses, and it was synthesis, research, synthesis, and application. So there's a big focus on making things that work, and it takes a lot of trial and error to be able to get to this level. So there's a lot of action, a lot of execution on a daily basis, and making stuff. So come back to the slide. So again, we have simulations, just not for the sequestration device. So we just started pivoting our focus. Sorry, that was a white paper. We just started pivoting our focus from rocket propulsion to autonomous manufacturing units. And we're also taking a look at some of the other companies that are in this space. The names that come to mind are Made in Space, who have functional components on the International Space Station. There are other companies as well doing some really good work here. So we'll continue to explore this and see if a collaboration with one of these companies makes sense, or if we're going to go we're going to go, I don't want to say solo, because you don't really do anything solo. So we'd love to collaborate with one of these companies. Maybe there's a sub problem that needs to be solved, and solving that problem would eventually help make our vision come true. I got to move this here because I keep going back to the white paper. Okay, so yeah, this is the update on the fluid dynamics side of things. I can't say each one of these is a check mark, but we have progress here. We have limited progress here. We have progress here. This was a low-hanging fruit. Let me share this. So this is something I started. This slide was developed in August last year, and pretty much next month I was taking a look at this phenomena. So I don't reckon I spent a lot of time looking at this. Probably less than a couple hours of work, maybe 2.5, 3 hours in total, maybe less. But as you can see, good thing about posting stuff on GitHub is that there's a timestamp. There's a timestamp right here. And if you actually go to my personal profile on GitHub, the timestamp is there. All the stuff is logged. So we love the fact that you can track all of this on GitHub as well. When we post our code on our website, which is right now hosted on Surge, we also upload the same changes to GitHub. So all of our work is not only are the details tracked in our project management system, but we have multiple sources to be able to verify that this is what we're, this is, so I think there's a lot of benefit towards doing so. Anyways, to come back to the price to set a pound of space, the original projections are as such. These are NASA's prediction from a 2008 article and or earlier. Let's take a look. When was this article actually implemented? I think it was before 2008. It doesn't say. Okay, well, it's got to be before 2008 because this is in the archives, first of all. Okay, so that's one thing. But the projections were coming from 2008, for 2008 and beyond, right? And the 2008 prediction was that we're going to be looking at hundreds of dollars of range by 2033 and tens of dollars range by 2048. So it's 2021, we're in the sub 2,000, 1,500 or less range US per pound. So it remains to be seen how this price will plummet. So what I did was I took the data from a variety of sources. I should have highlighted the sources here. But anyway, I took the data from a variety of sources and I mapped it. I don't know if I mapped this right, but this was the price in the 80s. So it's $85,000 US per pound. In the mid 90s, this dropped to almost $27,000. Then 2006, it was around $10,000. 2016, it was almost $5,500. 2017, we saw a big drop to less than $2,000. And I think these are, as of right now, I think I'm like still going with this, but right now I don't know what the actual price is. I don't know if it is sub $1,000 or if it's between 1,800 to 1,000. I don't know what the current price is, to be 100% honest. But I'm thinking it's somewhere in between this, right? I think it's somewhere in between this. This is a little ambitious. I was thinking that by the end of this year, we're going to get to a $100 price range. And the reason for that is that companies like Relativity, Space, and others are coming to, and they're going, they're emerging fast. And so, there's a lot of good movement happening here. So I was just wondering if we can indeed get to a sub, at least a less than $1,000 US range between 2021 and say 2023, maybe. It's a little ambitious, right? But let's be more specific. What did I really mean by less than $1,000? I was hoping it would be like around 300 to dollar 100. How do you make the dollar? Yeah, this is 2 and dollar 100. I was hoping it was going to be between that range by 2023. And the rate of change also matters. So there's a way to calculate that. So there's a rate of change that's coming in here. So I guess you could do back of the envelope calculation where you'll figure out the rate of change, which I think would be represented by something like a delta. I could be wrong about this. I don't know what I'm talking about at this point, but whatever the delta is, well, is delta change or rate of change? I forget. But yeah, we could we could come up with like like somewhat educated guesses on what the price point is going to be by 2025 ish. So in the next 4 years, I personally I think it's going to be less than this in by 2025. It could be a lot less than this, and that's what I'm really hoping for. And I think by in the next 9 years, actually just 5 or 6 years, is going to be uh, it's going to be sub 100 or way. It's going to be So that's what I'm hoping for by 2026ish, something like that, or less. The more this plummets, the better this is. So in the domain of rocket propulsion and elsewhere. At this point, I mean, I haven't like done a lot of math to be able to talk about this, but that's what I'm definitely hoping for, right? And let's be honest, we haven't done the math to be able to figure out this thing launching payload. What would that really translate to? So we're always looking at other. We're looking at the TRL, at the technology readiness level, in order to be able to figure out if other technologies need to be pushed, particularly technologies like John Hunter's space gun or rail guns in general, for the purpose of sending cargo in space, and not so much on the way back. Maybe depends. Like maybe it's going to be from the moon and back, but definitely from Earth to orbit. Okay, so yeah, that was that. I think I spoke more about that, but let's go back to the updates. So, oh no, I lost my thing. Okay, well, let's just. So we have some progress here. I wouldn't say a complete check here because it's an ongoing thing. We have some progress here. Same thing as before. We have some progress here. We don't have progress here. We didn't we didn't do this. And what else is there? I think that's really it. So that's another screenshot. And yeah, we haven't timed the release of our self-replicating sequestration machine, or like whether we're going to make this on our own or in alliance with something like Made in Space or another company. We're definitely going to be doing this on our own. We're going to need all the help we possibly can. And yeah, this is just a short update on what we've done since last year. I'm just making sure I didn't forget anything. These tabs are for something else. So yeah, talked about the synthesis, talked about the price to send a pound in space, talked about the white paper, and yeah, that's it. That's it. We've definitely done other things um, other than just this, but I just want to share this pretty quickly. All right. Well, if you watch this, thank you so much for watching. We're very open to feedback, very receptive to feedback, and this is just I guess a small sort of like a brief segment to keep ourselves accountable. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Very open to feedback. Please connect with me on LinkedIn, and please feel free to share your feedback with me directly on LinkedIn. If you'd like to share engineering specific, yeah, just contact me right now. We have a security policy whereby we don't really talk about our stuff so our team is trained not to answer a question like that. And so all the queries are going to come back to me, which creates a little bit of a bottleneck. But right now we're not like getting tons and tons of like inquiries, so it's quite manageable. We're mostly talking to other pioneers or enthusiasts in the domains of rocketry or aerospace in general, or folks who are just interested in seeing the vision of Gerard O'Neill and others become real. Alrighty, thanks so much and have a great day. Looking forward to hearing from you.